Today there are a lot of updates from the Kursk direction. Here, faced with devastating losses of armored vehicles, Russian forces resorted to mass infantry assaults, relying on sheer numbers to breach Ukrainian defenses. This shift in tactics led to a dramatic confrontation, where two Ukrainian soldiers on a small strong point held their ground against an overwhelming force of 20 Russian troops in a fierce battle. The main Russian offensive near Tolstyi Lug follows the local highway, aiming to breach Ukrainian defenses in two directions: east toward Novoivanovka and south toward Nizhnii Klin. This tactical shift comes after repeated failures to cross the Snagost River, where challenging terrain and fortified Ukrainian fire positions on the eastern bank have thwarted their advances. Now the Russian strategy focuses on bypassing the river from the north with concentrated frontal assaults designed to divide Ukrainian forces in the Kursk region. However, the Ukrainians have established formidable multi-layered defensive positions in the region, utilizing extensively mined fields and repurposing abandoned Russian fortifications once used to secure the international border. In combination with the Snagost River to the south and Novoivanovka to the north, this creates a narrow corridor with limited space for the Russians to maneuver under strict Ukrainian fire control. After suffering the destruction of multiple waves of armored vehicles and exhausting their reserves, the Russians were left with no choice but to revert to their notorious meat wave tactic, sending hundreds of soldiers to storm Ukrainian lines on foot. The Institute for the Study of War, citing Ukrainian officers in the Kursk direction, reported that Russian forces have largely abandoned the use of heavy equipment after suffering devastating losses from Ukrainian strikes. Instead, they now rely on infantry assaults, typically in small teams of 3 to 5 soldiers. Frontline troops have corroborated this, describing the battles as highly active and intense, dominated by infantry engagements. Dramatic footage from the Tolstyi Lug area further illustrates the ferocity of these clashes. Drone operators of the 36th Marine Brigade of Ukraine released a geolocated video showcasing the heroism of their soldiers responsible for the defense of this sector and the high level of coordination between units on the ground and in the skies above. The first image reveals a group of nearly 10 Russian stormtroopers infiltrating a Ukrainian trench, while another similarly sized unit advances openly across the fields. Fortunately, both groups are spotted simultaneously by a reconnaissance drone and 2 vigilant Ukrainian Marines. Acting with remarkable speed and precision, the Marines quickly take their firing positions, unleashing a fierce counterattack with small arms fire and grenades, effectively halting the enemy assault in its tracks. The Russians, under heavy fire, were forced to take cover in nearby bushes and return fire from their positions. Recognizing the dire situation faced by their 2 outnumbered comrades, Ukrainian drone operators acted swiftly, calling in artillery support. The first shell landed near the Russian positions, wounding several and forcing them to retreat further from the embattled Marines. Moments later, additional shells struck the trench where the initial Russian group had gathered, inflicting devastating casualties. The harrowing footage concludes with grim images of Russian stormtroopers lying dead in the fields and trenches, stark evidence of yet another failed assault in this direction. Overall, the shift from mechanized assaults to massed infantry attacks not only highlights the depletion of their armored capabilities, but also reflects a broader failure to adapt effectively to Ukraine's layered defenses and precision strikes. The featured battle, epitomized by the heroic stand of 2 Ukrainian soldiers against overwhelming odds, demonstrates Ukraine's ability to leverage tactical setting and coordination to neutralize numerically superior forces. These developments suggest a growing disparity in the strategic calculus, where Russian forces are increasingly sacrificing manpower without meaningful gains, further weakening their capacity to sustain prolonged offensives. I have extended the Black Friday deal for several more days. So right now, you can still get substantial 40% discount on our exclusive strategic insights and tactical analysis videos. If you wanted to support my work but never got a chance, now is an ideal opportunity to make a purchase. The discount will end this week. So check out the link in the description to take advantage of this offer before it expires. Your support makes a decisive difference for our ability to continue producing these reports.